Okay, we're back, I think. That was serious, wasn't it? Hold on, I gotta... Gotta... Gotta do some marketing here. We gotta get Kusi in here. Man. Man, I know you guys all saw that. But come on with the end of the HB pitch series. Like, come on, dude. You can't write a collapse like that. That was unbelievable. And like they were up 3-1, and then they give up 2 caps to tie it, and like, oh my god, HCB is gonna win it. And then OPH gets one back in dramatic fashion off the sack play and base. And then it's just HCB gets one back, and then two caps in the final 15 seconds. It's crazy. Face DC, huh? From BC. Interesting. What's up, Goose? You are muted.
You're right, I was. Let's look here.
Let's get you in the
this close.
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1. Oh yes.
I'm gonna show on stream. I don't think you'll see me this time.
Yeah, I wonder how that happened last time after not happening all the other times.
My laptop's just OP, I guess.
Well,
I'm back on the desktop.
Kind of messed up the recording there a little bit, I noticed.
Well, I think it was maybe more the house Wi-Fi. I don't know. But we're back. We're back in home territory.
That was a that was a nice fun way to end it.
I was just freaking out before you joined. I'm like,
he was all on schedule.
Yeah, it was just like, how do you go from up 2 caps? It's 3-1. You give up 2, and it's like, oh my god, HCB's got it. It's over. And then the sack play. That sack play was so good.
You know, I didn't pay. I saw like the last second of it. I must not have been looking. I have to admit, I was making notes at the same time. I saw the cap hit the back end of the flag tile, but that was all I saw.
Yeah, Face just snuck one out when pups were up, and able to beat HGB high. He's boosting through the gate, and like, I think maybe, who was it on defense? Maybe Mueller? Just the slightest little sat to clear the corner of the flag tile for him. So good to make it 4-3. And then the biggest collapse I've seen in recent memory. I mean, in 30 seconds, they give up 2 caps to tie it and then lose it.
We've seen some pretty interesting down the years, but that's a pretty fun one.
Oh my goodness! And like,
if I was a part of that on the red team, like I don't know if people noticed, but I never quit out of games early. That would have been one where I'm like 2 seconds left, like, oh, come on, how does this happen?
And I think, like, I don't know.
Usually I take it like a man, but that's just, that was tough to watch.
And it's not like this was an unexpected series result. Just the way it happened was so catastrophic. Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah. Do you want? Let's start with that one, just because there's more to parse through. I think for people that were watching, and Meowsy even brought it up on stream at least once that I heard.
I will interject. Sel is correct. We do need to start with
Yeah,
the
the shirt.
shirt.
So this is a top three shirt at least, just
Is
because
that a
it's got
Rose Bowl?
the fun design. It's I guess it's got some rose in there.
Just
Um,
Big Ten champs, though.
yeah,
Interesting.
the number one shirt is potentially coming out for the Mooper, but I've got two shirts that look the same that I consider my number one shirt. So keep an eye out for that. Um, the last game of the series, Flaccid.
Yeah, game five.
Yeah, it's whew, put the kids to bed. Put it that way.
So sorry to interrupt.
But yeah, no, the name of the game for this series was OPH blocking not good. You could really notice it on Moonbase, where you got a flag carrier pass two and coming in, and you know you let up one grab and it delays the process, and the flag carrier's not by the tile, and it's uh it's not exactly what you like to see. And that really cost them opportunities, kept them out of games. Um, we can get into a discussion on nerves later on, but I mean, HGB deserved their wins. It just was not exactly. It was tighter than the 4-1 will suggest.
Yeah, so help me with that because I was streaming another series. So I got the first half of game one. And I was kind of checking in as my stream started, and it was like OPH was just throwing blows at them. And they ended up winning game one by like 3 or 4 caps.
Yeah,
Like
so Beast was in,
why the
or
turn for games
so
like two
Be
through five?
so Beast was in, and I think I'll call it I'll call it map speed when the game sped up, because that first game was Milano, and I don't know if I'd call Milano fast or slow, but then you talk about Acida, Moonbase, Centenario, the next three, and I mean, two cap, one cap, two cap. I mean, it's like we said, not dominant. It was just a matter of maybe I'd have to go watch that Milano again, but just a lot of maybe misplays early on from HGB just got it ironed out real quick, and didn't give up caps at quite the same rate at all.
Yeah, coming into the night, like the reason I thought OPH had a puncher's chance at it was just because of their top two, right? So I thought Selfie and Dalek were gonna have a huge impact on the series, and I actually kind of I think did you mention Beast subbed in for a game or two while they were waiting for Mueller to get online? He played really
Yeah,
well for them
no,
to
Beast was
end the
fine.
regular season. And with that lineup, I felt really good. They took the game one win, and like Selfie had a great game one, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of the formula that they need. And I don't know when. So Mueller, I guess, okay, me obviously says Mueller came in
Mueller in
game
game four,
four.
yeah.
So I mean, they lost game two and three with B. So it's not like he was like
Yeah,
some
well,
some X factor for super X factor for
here's
them.
the
But
problem. Who predicted after the draft ended? I said, well, why is Beast not in this league? And look who makes an appearance on a playoff team at just the
true.
right time. I'm not gonna say anything. Just saying. Also, this is a wrist brace. Sorry if people are
Yeah, I was
confused by it.
curious. I was gonna ask tennis
It
elbow or tennis
well,
wrist,
not
I
tennis
guess.
elbow. Just I'm being cautious because I have a bad feeling that if it's like one of those where like if you put pressure on a certain way, like you go about doing everything else fine, but I'm being very cautious because I don't want to be out for months at a time.
No, I mean
I'm getting old now. We're
we
getting
got
old.
two clutch time streams left. We need you ready.
Exactly. I need to be able to click the mouse.
That's
I
right.
can't do that. I can't do it if I got a fucking brace on.
I want to run something
Um.
by you really
Okay.
quickly. Cause I talked about it on my stream. I don't know if this played into the series at all, but I did go through and do a little red side blue side analysis for each of these teams during the regular
Yeah, I
season.
saw that. Or I heard you bringing that up. I mean, that doesn't make any difference. I don't think.
Bro, it's but like some of these teams are so
44 was
insane.
it? Yeah, like was it like 40-point difference? That's kind of
Yes,
nuts.
for and we can talk about TMS later, but yes, TMS had a 40% win rate difference between red and blue this regular season. And I know they've okay, leave them aside. But so I don't know that really mattered much in this series. HGB 53% on blue versus 44% on red. OPH kind of just a below average team, but also blue favored. They were the only two teams that were better on blue than red this season, which I thought was kind of interesting.
I,
But yeah.
I would pay much more attention to the actual results on the map versus the colors.
I have it broken down by map too.
Are you talking scrims or are you talking one game or whatever it is?
I'm
Would you
talking
play
one
two? Would
game.
you play? Would you play one,
Depends on the
two,
map.
three?
Yeah,
Yeah, you'd play. You don't even have the same sample size for every single team.
correct.
Yeah, no, just the thing was that the faster maps favored HGB because they required those quick blocks, quick opportunities. The best part of the night was game 4 Centenaria, I think. The cap for 3-0 for HGB. It's a pass 3 for OPH with a tag follow. The tag kills himself on the gate and it's a cap the other way. It's like, no, how did that happen? And you know what? That probably sowed the seeds of Game Five's collapse right there. Because yeah, I mean, the Selby's a great player, but it is and just doesn't make mistakes. But I will say, like the other folks had a little bit of a tendency to sometimes. Not their fault, but I mean, HGB does a good job of putting you in some tough spots every now and then. I will not say anything against what they do. The question is, do they have enough firepower to go toe to toe with an FWO for 4 different games and win all of them? That's really the key.
Yeah, that was my question coming out of it. Like I saw the bits I was able to see. It's been great comeback in Game Five, but it was like, if this is the way they play against FWO or even LBT, it's like, is this even close to good enough?
It's so. I hate. I get what you're getting at, and it's just tough to actually put the comparison into of like, okay, there's a reason. How can I phrase this the best way? Just because there's a different 4 players in the game, you're obviously gonna play it differently. We'll have to see what. Do we remember what the regular season was? I will
FWO,
pull
I
that up
believe,
short.
swept HGB.
That kind of tells you a little something right there.
Yeah, I just like I think of like even Meowser was calling out on his stream. There's a stretch in Game Five where Miller was playing anti for like a minute. Pup was coming up, who's playing anti, and no one. And it's like no one else remaining in the playoffs is making that sort of play. I mean, that's just not happening
To do what? Play anti?
on nobody with a pup spawning. And it's like decisions like that. I think just poor decision making that they're obviously not going to see as they progress. And I just it's hard to judge the real, I guess, really what they can do because I don't think OPH played particularly well. And the bit, I mean, Game Five for sure. So I don't know. I just think it's gonna be harder, which I guess isn't some like crazy take, but
Why can't I find? Okay. Uh, in the regular season, these games were on Aceta and Flaccid type map. 1 cap game, 2 cap game, 1 cap game, 1 cap game, 2 cap game.
okay.
It's not impossible. It's just a matter of finding your moments and converting. And that's the problem. Is I mean, as well as they did tonight in terms of putting the caps together when they needed to, the FWO just doesn't give you those chances.
Yeah.
So tough to say. Hey, is Willow a fast map? Would you call Willow a fast map?
Yes, and I think only because, and I think we talked about it, like when talking about a Furballer series, got it like 3 4 weeks ago. It's like it's people don't know how to play it because it's been out of rotation for so long. Like
There's a bit of a
a lot of
difference
these
between
newer
people that
players,
do and
right?
people that don't. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that in itself kind of lends to the fastness of it, just the
I think it's
unfamiliarity with
medium
it.
pace. I think it's medium pace. It's definitely not slow. It's medium pace. Just because the map's got 2 boosts right next to the flag tile doesn't necessarily mean that it's a fast map. Um, so before we get to the other game, the thing I noticed, I was thinking about and most everybody in this game by this point, I think is everyone in the playoffs not a true rookie, right? All the true rookies are done by now. Does that sound right?
Well, true rookie in the minors, pass is new.
Okay, but Pass has also played a billion seasons. I'm
Right.
trying
So
to
as
think in
far as
terms.
like recent balls, yeah, I'd say that's
Yeah.
accurate. Yeah.
So I was thinking that first game for HGB was a lot of nerves too, and I was thinking like nerves can kind of manifest themselves in different ways. And for some people, it's like containing and doing the mechanical things. Other people, it's preventing, and that's almost worse to me. I think right when you can't keep it in
Mm-hmm.
because your OD gets a little skittish, and the each cap probably feels like it weighs a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there thinking, the especially watching you guys last night. Sorry to say, but I mean, definitely played a little bit more scared than they did,
I would agree with that.
and,
Um,
it just kind of it threw me for a loop. I'm like, wait a second, just because everyone's been playing the game for 5 years plus at least doesn't necessarily mean that nerves aren't a thing. And I think the that will come into play next week now that the two last teams are in, and I'm curious to see. I just think there's that hidden intangible element that we are not, we can't really predict, but it's there, and it's definitely something to think about.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, to your point, it's like people. I mean, people have different personalities, and I'm not going to try to throw anyone on my team under the bus, but I I would agree with what you were saying. I thought we were definitely playing a little more cautious than we should have been. And it's like there are certain people. Gosh, I remember Dope used to have this huge reputation of just tilt.
Oh,
Um, you could type at him in game and like ruin his mental for the rest of the series, right? And it's
yeah,
like just because to your point, just because they've been playing this game for 5 years, like they're still their own personality and they deal with pressure in different ways. Um,
yeah.
yeah, so
I
it's a fair
remember
point.
one season he and I were on the same minors team, and every now and then during practice he'd go, okay, now treat these last couple minutes like it's a playoff game. I'm like, I love where your head's at, but it doesn't swing that way.
Yeah, yeah. It's different when there's like a pit in your stomach and like your season's
Oh
on the
yeah, you
line,
feel you
you
feel a
know?
lot different. I can't. It keeps coming back that series that series with a team like that sadness. Rob Skibby team just flew through everything, and then especially when you're starting to lose to a team that you feel like you should be beating. I
Yeah.
mean, that could definitely come into play for FWO next week if I'm presuming they take HGB. You run up a couple caps early on, and then all of a sudden you can sit there and you're thinking, man, how are we down, or how are we at 1-1 with these guys, and we almost lost the first game. I mean, why, you do get that in your head, regardless of, especially if you are kind of sweeping your way through the season the way that FWO did.
Yeah, and I do wonder, like certain players, and Tag Prof is one of these, have that playoff performer reputation, and like I wonder if it almost works the opposite way. Like he starts feeling himself, and he's like, "Yeah, I've done this."
Oh yeah,
You know what
sure.
I mean? And like
Yeah.
maybe someone on the other side is like, "Oh my God, it's playoff Tag Prof," you
I was,
know?
I was gonna say that feels like more the case with him because I mean, don't get me wrong, there were those times in the past when he absolutely popped off, but um, I think he just he the thing about him is maybe it's less he becomes something different and more he stays the same and
Yeah,
everyone else is just kind of playing that extra little bit that it's sometimes it's only 3-5% or 10%, but that's a big difference for people, especially when this game is so dependent on the little spots, pixels of difference for. I mean, shoot, that cap that you should have had on Jardim.
yep.
Sorry to say.
And by the way, there was the way I'd taken that boost. I did everything in my power to turn that.
I know. I know. It was
Uh,
just, it's one of those where you're like, once you see that happen, you're just like, this is
yeah,
not going to
I
go
literally
well.
screamed, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah,
After that,
I,
yeah,
I heard you. I
yeah.
heard you.
Anyway,
But,
you,
yeah, I don't
TMS.
know. Yeah, so this is talk about a team that shouldn't have to deal with those nerves, and I think can really make a run if they stay themselves. Looked good to me. I mean, you saw that game.
Yep.
I think they kind of just did the thing of taking care of business, right? This wasn't. I mean, they don't have to prove anything to anybody. I don't think they
No,
just
and I
did what they
think you,
needed to do.
yeah, I think you saw what made them good. Like it was Poet and a mixture of beef and irony, just really, and Logi too. Just they were controlling power ups, especially the important ones and the important moments. It was always TMS winning them. And then, man, I know we've talked about it, but it's been a while. Like that beef irony duo, it's really freaking good. I mean, they
Yeah,
are really good.
yeah. I still think Beef should have capped that on Audacity. He boosted straight in. He was boating. I don't care what everyone
Yes,
says.
yeah.
He had the straight in, and I'm sure someone said he had the straight in, and he boosted above the flag
Yes.
and stayed there.
Yeah.
Um, no, I mean, don't. Those are two players that I'm high on to begin with, and maybe it was just a matter for them of you know they're not the types that are going to sit there and both ring up 15 caps in a week, but you trust them to get the job done, you trust them to hold in the big moments, and I got no problems with where they're at right now. The key for them is just going to be I think they have to turn their identity into pups, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not to say, I mean, this is any player, right? But those guys don't really. I don't want to sound bad with it. It's not like they have the mechanical skill to like outplay a 2v1 with a tag pro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think the same thing goes for anybody left in these playoffs outside of like your Marcuses that are just kind of dominant, been this otherworldly thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just they need to win pups.
Yeah.
They need to win pups.
I think they've got four people who traditionally have won them. You know what I mean?
I, I,
Poet, for
I
gosh, he season after season is always at the
oh
top of
yeah.
their purple leaderboards. Poet with some
Uh,
clarification on the play.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
poet. I trust me. I know he can be dumb. He wasn't. He wasn't that dumb. No, I just like they need to do the full on like back in the day season strategy of hey, let's go 10 seconds early, let's go win them. Have a guy ahead nowadays because you can play that game differently.
yeah, and that's where my
But
pushback was gonna be on that. Like the 10 seconds early thing. That's really can
I know it's a
punish
thing of the
yourself
past.
doing that.
Hey, call it 8 seconds early. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I'm just saying we gotta be careful about setting up
Yeah,
too
these
early.
maps are also small now. I wish we could do something about. I guess people like it though. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of. Well, really, it's only Milano, where like you see everything that's happening in front of you, but it's so quick that I can watch the FC, still go grab the pup, and I still have no way to get back in the play. It just doesn't. It, it's it's a good what do you call that? It's a good choice to have to make, and it really tests your thinking skills, but it doesn't mean I have to like it.
Yep. I think the other thing I really liked about TMS tonight, it wasn't quite what I consider a playoff logi team, but I thought they were fairly disciplined. Like you look at game three, and I was screaming about non-drop pops for TPO all series, but it was like really a huge difference in game three. TPO ended with 20 non-drop pops, which is just an insane number, and TMS had maybe 4 or 5 or something like that, and the disparity in that was just, I mean, it's just so tremendous.
Yeah,
But they weren't doing
which map was
stupid
that on
stuff, right? They
too?
weren't spiking, they weren't getting
Which
gated, and
I'm
when they
trying to
were
think
losing
what
tag
map that
pros,
was
they weren't
on.
getting killed. You know.
Do you remember what map that was on?
I have to think about it. I can check real quick.
Yeah, it was one of those where you're like, and this goes for most maps, but there are a couple where you can get away with having quite a few NDPs because
I
there are
think
just
that
so
was
many ways to
on
catch up.
Jordan.
Yeah, that's one where I mean you get a team boost.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, we can say it's a one ball thing, but it's a four ball thing, right? To commit to playing a certain way, right? And I just I don't think you're ever gonna catch certain people in the playoffs. They don't change who they are. You know me. I'm going for 5 non-drop pops, but I'm getting 15 returns and a cap while doing it.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
just some people play that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm curious to see about when these two new teams come in. They've got a chance to see, okay, what does this team look like when they're under pressure? What does this team look like when they are late in games trying to prevent caps or trying to do something differently.
Yeah. Flaccid, to answer your question, it was just I hate to just call it straight stupidity, but a lot of it was. I mean, Bubbles had back to back boosting the spikes on Moonbase that were just like insanely bad. Um, but Team S doesn't do that. And then they won pups. They won the critical pups, and they have four talented players, so they swept. That was kind
Yeah,
of my
which
takeaway.
make that makes this LBT series, I'm
The
presuming
rematch.
it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that was a
I
that was a
mean,
3-2 series, I think, last week of the regular
yeah.
season.
Do we want to just go to there now? Because I don't think we had. Do we have anything else to wrap up TPO? Hey, credit to those folks for coming in after half a season's worth, or would they get 3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
That's pretty good of them to not only say, oh, all hope is lost, but I'm pretty sure that was in a pretty tough situation points wise. It wasn't like they were guaranteed in.
No, they were definitely not guaranteed to get in. So
So, good on them, and thanks for making the integrity of the league what it was for that last little bit. I know league integrity was just so strong at every moment of the season, and everyone did the great job the entire way through. But I'm excited for these couple now.
yeah, this is gonna be a banger of a Fo guy for. I think to your point, I'm assuming FWO has to go HGB here.
Yeah, just because TMS can hurt you in so many different ways if you're FWO, whereas you see a clear path to winning. I think if against an HB, I mean, I think they'd be the second ones to tell you that. I mean, that's no problem. The thing is though, you get in these games and anything's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think. Keys to victory off the top of our heads.
For FWO, it's Marcus ignoring his restriction, not too much, but enough. Because actually, I do think they can suffer when he leaves defense for too long, although Jazz has alleviated that a lot since she joined.
Yeah, that's just the issue is that anytime you do it, and it's not like and Hughes played enough defense before,
Yeah.
so it's not like an issue. That's really the problem. Now, does the X factor of the series rely on which member of the CRC is in the group with them and is willing to type in group chat? Yeah, that's one get lost game because you played Marcus too much. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, that's the only one that I see doing that is Bam, so they'll just have to work around Bam here.
they'll just have to kick him from the group.
Yeah, but yeah, so I really think that's, I mean, I hate to even call it an X factor. It's what got him my MVP vote. He's just so good on both sides of the tiles, like and it's just like if Marcus is dominating, he's holding for a minute and a half on 5 grabs with a cap, and then he gets 15 returns. I mean, that's the series.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean that's also been how they've won all these other games. I'm
Yeah, I
not
mean, I don't think the formula needs to change.
right. It's a matter of how much can you let it change, or how much I guess how much can outside things affect that. I think there's a path for HGB to win this. I think. It just relies a lot on can you get your good maps early and can you be competitive on maybe the ones that FWO picks. I mean that's the thing is we can't get too granular. We don't know who's good at each map
Mm-hmm.
specifically, but I would not be I would not be opposed to saying, hey, 1-1 and two close games after a little while. The problem is FWO starts a lot of these series in the regular season. They start them great.
Yep.
That's really the problem is that um, I'm so impressed by the way they can hit the ground running, make the plays they need to, and then also it just seems like they're always around. Like they're they're always in the ones that have um they have the differences, like the 2-on-1s and the 3-on-2s. It's
Yes.
very rarely are they left leaving someone by themselves.
Agreed. And not to continue the Glaze Marcus here, but like I think it's so hard to stop him from going like making that switch to offense because like you know it, like a defender getting like it's so easy just to sit on regrab as a defender and like not have anyone contesting you. Like it's so easy to make that swing and get get a free grab. It's just I don't know how you can test it easily. You know what I mean? Like
Well, I'll push back because it's not like I mean Marcus does have a good scoring percentage, but it's not like it's a guaranteed cap every single time he touches the flag.
I agree, but even if it's not a guaranteed
He can
cap,
say
it's
he can save plays the other way
yes,
too.
and he can hold while pups are coming up, and it's like he creates so much pressure when he does it, and I think it's just so hard to challenge because he is coming from defense, and like when that sort of stuff happens, it's like I don't know,
No,
it
that's
seems
why
like
that's
it's always easy
acceptable.
to get a free regrab,
The problem for me is just when he goes on willingly with whether with people spawning.
you know.
Um, what do you think? There's a way HGB like what's your opinion on if HGB can do anything of any sort?
Yeah,
No.
it's got it's got to be a tag prof series, I think. He has to go pound for pound with Jazz and Marcus, like offensively. He has. I
Yeah.
really think he has to
Yeah.
cap like 2 times a game, and he's got to be holding close to 2 minutes. I think if he does that, there's a path.
Yeah. Does Vic serve as a good counter maybe to Marcus just because Vic loves a good snipe? Um, I think you know the thing to forget about is that I mean I don't know. He was the straw that stirs the drink for me, man. I tell you what.
He does the little things right.
Yeah, that's the key. Yeah, which if that's the thing too is if HGB even if they you know make the good plays the good smaller plays they just FWO does not leave them exposed all that often. They need to find ways. They need to go back through the footage and see okay is there any way you can get you know can you get players isolated without them like spiking themselves to get into it right? Does that make sense?
It does.
So I mean, that's gonna take a lot of looking back through some old footage, but you know, all you gotta do is turn the game up to 2 times speed, and you'll get through it half as fast.
Yeah, and I think the player you're trying to really punish on FWO has got to be pass, right?
Yeah.
So if
Well,
I'm
yeah.
HGB, it's like I got to look at these grabbing situations and how can we get tag prof 1-on-1 with pass? Like, can we use some map elements to get Jazz out of the way? Can we clear some space for tag prof 1-on-1 with pass? Like that's the kind
Or,
of stuff I'm looking for.
or is there something you can expose when Marcus has the flag? I mean, you just say, "Hey, Marcus, you can hold, do whatever. We'll just kill everyone else," and then you know what I mean?
I think that was right prior to Jazz being picked up. I think now with Jazz, I think that's a lot
It's just too
harder.
hard to do.
Yeah.
No, maybe. And then that's a top. I mean, so I mean, we're saying FWO in 5 or 6 probably.
I think it's 5 at most. Honestly, a sweep wouldn't shock me.
No,
I know
but
those games were close, but
I like to be nice, but
you know,
so, hey, you know, a team like HB's got to have some mentality to make that comeback later on in this game that we just saw.
yeah, I think maybe one feels a little bit more winnable though. I mean, we'll see.
I'm not going to disagree. And then this Siri flip a coin, right? For TMS and LBT.
Yeah, and I guess if you're an LBT fan, you're like, yeah, they won 2 games at the end of our series after we clinched the 2 seed. Who cares? But I mean, I think it is. I think it's. I think it really is a 50-50.
Is there I would here's the crazy thing. I'm going to lean TMS because of the rust factor.
How's that?
You know, give away 2 games at the start of a series, or you know, give away the 2 of the first 3 because one team's been playing in playoffs for a week and the other one's not. I don't know. It's just something crazy like that. It feels like it could be possible. I mean, I'm not trying to like put anything on LBT when I say that, but it's just it's possible. It's definitely a thing.
Yeah, it's not like
potentially
the
a thing.
the old days where you had to buy. Like I remember season 10, I had to buy, and then we played, the 8 seed Whitecaps after our buy and won the series for nothing. Like it's not you're not playing some gimme after your buy. It's like it's you come out of your buy and it's like, oh, that's a team that can win the championship, right? So I get your point. It's you got to wake up quick, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I l- I don't even know who I lean. I don't know if I have a lean.
I
It
mean, I
it doesn't. I can put a lot of thought into this. It just doesn't. Like for every little. I mean, who's the weak link of either team? Take your pick. There isn't really one.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, they're both very strong
It's
rosters.
kind of that's kind of the thing. I
Yeah.
mean, it, we can be nice and say this now, but like there were players on some of these teams that left the playoffs tonight that like you could sit there and go, okay, I don't trust this player to make a good play in this situation.
Yep.
And to their credit, sometimes they would. But now that these two teams come up, I mean, I feel very comfortable seeing most of those players out there with the flag in their hands
Yep.
and needing to stay alive to avoid a cap or something like that. I mean, it's just I do not know who's going to win this.
Yeah, I think it'll be the series of the playoffs, and I mean, hopefully the Mooper is a good one, but
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is I'm really looking forward to it.
Hugh brings up a good point. TMS just has that little ability to be sloppy every now and tell you what, if LBT wants something good to look at, they just need to go look at that TPO series from the regular season.
Yep.
Right? We saw them just kind of get completely thrown or taken aback, I guess, for
Hmm.
lack of a better phrase. And there is there are ways. I am very excited to see this one just because there are a lot of potentially different outcomes, and a lot of them are pretty entertaining, if you ask me.
Agreed. And um, like I think that the matchup skill wise is similar enough. Like there's just some like inherent variance to it. Like even if LBT is a little bit better, that doesn't necessarily guarantee they're winning the series, right? I think there's enough variance
Oh no,
within
it's it's
the
it's
matchup.
it's close enough to where it doesn't
Yeah.
really come into play for me.
Yeah. 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 And then so I don't know if I really have much to add to it. I'm just really
No,
looking forward
I
to
mean,
it.
shoot, I think you'd be a dumb person to give away any sort of money on this series. Holy cow! I
Yeah.
wouldn't I wouldn't bet an eagle egg on this one.
Uh,
Man, what do you think is the key? Does it, let's is there a way to not be boring and just say pups?
but that feels like it though.
It's such a
It feels
it's
like
such a
it.
it's such a cop out, but it's so true.
I
It's
mean,
so
this game
true.
does it's simple sometimes, you know.
This is the type of series where back in the day it made a little bit more sense, but you could sit there and see, man, these guys are playing a 15-minute overtime one of these games, and
Yep.
I don't know when or where it is, but they're doing it, and
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
how it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like what like but but let's say like a B team long overtime back in the day, that was because there was just so much poor play going on that neither team like could create a cap. Whereas now it's just like, yeah, these two teams are just gonna cancel each other out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with what they do. God, I miss a good B team playoff, like where uh
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
tough.
All right. So, do you have a series prediction for this one?
I
Surely it's
am gonna
seven.
say I am gonna say mm, I'm gonna say everybody wins because it's just gonna be so much fun in Tag Pro. Like neither team can get mad at me, okay? But I'm thinking it's LBT in seven. No, neither team can get mad at me though. I love TMS. We've been on TMS since the start, and I just who can say why or how? I just think there's something there. I put it this way: I've not seen LBT lose the way the TMS did to TPO.
True.
Put it that way. There you
True.
go. That's my cop out. Show me something different, TMS. I need it. I need it.
I've been a Squeep hater for far too long to go
Yeah,
LBT here. I'm gonna go TMS in seven, and I think
I appreciate you for doing that. This is good. This
yeah,
is good for
and
us.
honestly, I just have visions of Irony doing something crazy to save a game. instead
I'm
of the
telling you
7,
right
and then who
now.
knows what
No,
happens.
I'm telling you right now, LBT, do not put Sentin or what's it, Sardonica? No, I'm trying to
Yes.
think. There, do not put that map last. You will be you will be punished for it. You will be punished.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh Christ.
All right. We're just breaking the 40-minute mark. I think that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
the 2 games, that's plenty. I'm excited for these games though. I'm wishing good luck to everyone that's left because, we already saw some fun tonight. It can get even better.
Yep. All right. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. We'll do this again next week, and we'll find out the Mooper matchup. So
Yes, and
looking forward to that, and maybe Kusa's second ranked T-shirt, perhaps.
maybe it's a maybe. It's a
Alright.
maybe.
We'll see you.
Thanks everyone.
All right, stream. Couple of shout outs before I stop here. I'm gonna make sure Kus disappears. Poor guy doesn't need to have us watching him. Couple of announcements before I end the stream. Okay. Heart Award and the Cappies voting forms. Those have been posted in MLTP announcements by Timmy. Please go ahead and vote for both of those if you get the chance. Also, hopefully later this week, not confirmed yet, waiting on Cheese Doodle, but we will have kind of like a nightcap fireside chat situation with Cheese Doodle about the TPFG, kind of what the road is from here after this latest update. I will ask about a Steam release. I'll be asking a couple different things. You can DM me questions that you want Cheese to answer. If you want to call in, go ahead and shoot me a DM as well. If I like your take, I'll let you call in, or your question rather. But yeah, hopefully going to be able to do that sometime this week. Just trying to work out his schedule. So that should be good. I think that will give us some fun topics to talk about, just kind of the future of the game itself, rather than just a competitive focus. So tune in to that. I'll make sure to post the VOD for anyone who doesn't see it, and we will see you guys then. GG's.